People probably cover themselves in this mud. It's supposed to be really good for you, but I have no idea about that. I'm just a tourist who came to take a look. And here, look, it's just pure salt lying on the ground. So much salt. The entire lake bed is covered in it. Lots of water and lots of salt. The water is super salty. If this place is popular, if people come here, then of course, we have to check it out too. Look here, there's some kind of interesting structure. What's curious about it is that there are stones around the perimeter, like a stone foundation, but at the same time, you can see traces of wood, some kind of log structure, and inside, wooden piles are driven in. Something must have been resting on these piles. But then, what was this whole stone concrete structure for? It looks completely unclear. Over there, look, there's also a bunch of different piles. Maybe there were some structures on them. And on the other side, too, remnants of some kind of buildings, some embankments, some piles, concrete things, and all that. At the far end of the lake, I see some kind of installation that looks like it's somehow extracting salt, probably. I'm in Kazakhstan, near Pavlodar, in a place called Koryakovka. A long time ago, I marked a landmark here on my map. It's called the Salt Lake Pillars. You can't just pass by without taking a look. So I'm heading there. The asphalt ends here. Now there's a pretty decent dirt road ahead, and it seems to lead right to the lake. This should be interesting because these are salt lakes. They usually have an unusual water color. Looking at the map, the water here appears orange from above. The landscape looks quite interesting. It's mostly steppe. But over there, as you can see, there's a small forest. And here, well, it's not exactly barren land. Plants are growing, grass and all that. It's really interesting to see all this and understand what it was for. The lake used to be much larger. This whole area might have been flooded before. Over there, I see some kind of sign. The sign probably won't tell us what this used to be. Most likely, it'll just say, "You can't be here, leave immediately." But on the other hand, look, there's a well-worn road leading here. That means hundreds, if not thousands of cars come here. If this place is popular, if people come here, then of course, we have to check it out too. I wonder what's written on that sign. And what is that installation over there? It looks like a drilling rig, a crane, or something else. I can't quite tell. Aha! To prevent the spread of coronavirus, do not gather in groups, and so on. So there's a COVID-19 warning sign at a salt lake. Does that mean a lot of people gather here? Now this part, I'm not really liking. Looks like you could get stuck in the sand here. But I'll be careful. Go slow. And if the car starts sinking, I'll stop immediately. We've basically arrived. There they are. The Salt Lake Pillars. So, what do we have here? The Salt Lake Pillars. The place is called Koryakovka, or Koryakovka. I'm not sure about the stress. And the lake? Koryakovskoye Lake, of course. Apparently people come here for some kind of health benefits. Maybe they soak in the lake or walk on it. All right, let's take a closer look. I should try getting over there, to the water. Judging by the looks of it, the lake has dried up a lot this year because this whole area must have been underwater before. And as I walk, I can feel it. It's getting softer. Look, it's turning into slush. I drove across all this without even noticing that it's completely soaked. Just a little more, and it becomes pure sludge and mud. I need to be careful not to get stuck. Judging by that coronavirus sign, this area must have been flooded before. These pillars are leading somewhere. Clearly there was a bridge here. Maybe not for cars, but possibly a railway. Maybe a narrow gauge track once crossed the lake. Not sure why, but that's not the point. I probably won't reach the water because it's all too soft. Judging by the animal tracks, anything that steps here sinks in. Or maybe not. I seem to be walking fine so far. But every little depression has water in it, meaning the ground is completely soaked. It's a good thing I haven't sunk yet. Over there on the other side, it looks even wetter, so you probably can't get to the water from that direction either. This part here is way too soft. I'm not even going to try stepping there. Maybe I can go around? Wow, this mud is really sticking to my sneakers. I'm going to be scraping it off for a while. This is the first time in my life I've seen a salt lake like this. I mean, I've been to Alakal before, but I think this one is way saltier. Just look at those pillars. The middle section is completely covered in thick white salt deposits. I better not fall in. Just don't fall in. Too late to turn back now. I'm almost there. People probably cover themselves in this mud. It's supposed to be really good for you, but I have no idea about that. I'm just a tourist who came to take a look. And here, look, it's just pure salt lying on the ground. So much salt. The entire lake bed is covered in it. Lots of water and lots of salt. The water is super salty. And this salt seems to be just regular sodium chloride, table salt, the kind we use in everyday life. So they must have extracted salt from this lake before, using these pillars, and they transported it out along this road. All right, time to go. Did I visit the salt lake? Yes. Did I touch the water? Yes. Now I need to leave because while I was standing here, look, my feet were slowly sinking into the ground. The soil here is like quicksand. As long as you keep walking fast, you don't sink much. But if you stop, you start sinking. And over there, near the car, the ground is also giving way. I better get back quickly before the car gets stuck. Well, there you go. A new experience. I visited an incredibly salty lake, a real salt concentrate. The town of Koryakovka, Koryakovskoye Lake. How far is it? Maybe about 20 kilometers from Pavlodar. It's probably more interesting when it's warm, and you can at least take off your shoes and walk on the salt. These spontaneous trips always turn out to be the most interesting. Wishing you happiness, health, love, patience, and all the best. Bye, come again. Koryakovskoye Lake, the Salt Lake Pillars, the town of Koryakovka, Strany Diadka, Pupyrka, and all around, the beautiful country of Kazakhstan.